हेलो। आवाज आ रही
Yes,
है?
I can.
या श्योर। सो आई विल जस्ट गो इनटू स्ट्रोक्स एंड शेप्स, मेनली जो डिफरेंट मूवमेंट्स होते हैं। आई विल जस्ट कवर इट इन अ डिफरेंट वे so that you can basically understand. So what we have in general for handwriting, jo you understand what letter A, B, C, D. Like we have generally letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, okay, till about Z. Okay. So you can either write A like this, which is a bit of curved movement round, or some people can also, if they're writing fast, they sort of write like this. Okay. And what we also have is in terms of, so this is basically a circular stroke formation. Okay. Then we have certain loops. So this is a loop formation. Sometimes it's without loop also. Right. Some people write without loop. So this is not a loop formation. Sometimes you write a loop formation. I'm just giving you everything in one go itself. And so next we have like oval letters. So O is supposed to be round, but many people write oval letters. Okay. So everything has a different meaning in particular. Okay. And I'm speaking English because the Anbu Malar is basically from the southern part of India, so she can also understand the class. So English, Hindi, अगर कोई समझ में नहीं आ रहा है तो मैं लैंग्वेज बदल भी सकता हूँ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसमें। लेकिन जनरली जो हैंडराइटिंग एनालिसिस हम सिखाते हैं।
ठीक है, आप इंग्लिश में ही बोलिए, कोई
हाँ,
प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
करेक्ट। So essentially there are many formations. Like sometimes people write M even like this, अगर आपने देखा होगा। Sometimes, very rarely, you will see. So people like this who write, they are generally good in mechanical and engineering. Okay, this sort of work in general. And sometimes there's a triangular formation in the writing also. जैसे Y मैंने ऐसे लिखा, ऐसे भी हो जाता है। करेक्ट। तो हर चीज की एक अलग थॉट प्रोसेस होती है। और कभी कभी डॉक्टर्स का भी, करेक्ट, आपने देखा होगा कि मान लो मैं अपना नाम लिख रहा हूँ, ओके, ऐसे करके, मतलब जल्दी लिखने के लिए मैंने बेसिकली एक थ्रेड फॉर्मेशन ये कर दिया। तो जनरली जो लोग बिजी होते हैं, ये होते हैं, और उनको लिखना होता है ज्यादा, करेक्ट। इफ यू सी इंदिरा गांधी's handwriting, I'll show you also. Okay, so that has what do you call thread sort of formation in the writing. जो लोग मतलब उनको बहुत काम रहता है, लिखना पड़ता है, so they will write sort of like this. Okay. अगर ये basically correct, किसी को समझ में नहीं आता है, but mainly it is to save time because you're focusing on so this is not like ideal because you're only caring about your time. Okay, like you want to save time and not caring about letting the other person know what you have written. Okay, so ये basically आपका thread sort of formation हो गया। तो इन जनरल काफी चीजें हो सकती है, बट जनरली 4 कैटेगरीज में इसको आप डिवाइड कर सकते हो। ठीक है। सो ये हो गया आपका स्ट्रेट मूवमेंट हो गया। ओके, एंड दिस इज योर सर्कुलर मूवमेंट, सो यू आर मेकिंग ओ लाइक दिस और ओ लाइक दिस, करेक्ट। एंड एंगुलर मूवमेंट हो गया, करेक्ट। So if you're writing N and M like this is your angular movement. And this is like if you're writing L and D, this is a loopy sort of movement. And like if you write M like this, okay, or N like this is called an Arcadian movement. Arcadian movement basically एक इसलिए कहा जाता है क्योंकि like if you have a fort, right, so you make a fort sort of like this. ऊपर में आपने देखा होगा Mughals and all that. So this is called an arcade. This is basically more of a conservative or defensive sort of movement that is there. Okay. And yeah, and last class we covered basically garland formation. So you're writing, say, letter D, E, V. Okay. So what is garland in this is basically, you're taking this formation, basically the joining letters. So we are looking mainly at connection between the letters also when we are covering this. So this looks kind of like this underneath, okay, which is opposite to the arcade. So if you just if you have done this in school, correct, unity or whatever we have thought, okay, बच्चे ऐसे करके ऐसे movement, okay. So this is sort of a friendly sort of a movement in the writing. Okay. So what we covered was like we'll cover 5 aspects in the writing and what it basically means. Okay, तो ये मैं जल्दी से cover कर सकता हूँ. Okay, if you're fine with it, and you can understand this part of the writing. So mainly ये हमें क्यों सीखना है और why we have to understand this is because many a times we might not know what each letter basically means. A B C D, लेकिन हम एंगल से कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं कि ये सब मतलब इसका थॉट प्रोसेस बेसिकली क्या है. Okay, like I think last this thing you were not there, so just give me a second. I'm just opening for examples. We'll just share this before we go. I think ये दिख रहा होगा. Okay, so sometimes you'll not be able to understand कि ये writing क्या है, ये writing क्या है. But you can see this has more angles in the writing. Okay, and this is more sort of a round sort of a writing, like any. So this sort of writing shows sort of like a ruthless efficiency and mainly no, trying to get the job done, a bit of no, self-centeredness, selfishness sort of in the writing. लेकिन जो नीचे वाली writing है, this is more round. So this person, whoever is writing is in the second one, they will be more friendly, more considerate, more understanding of you. Okay, and if you want to maybe give a contract to someone, okay, मतलब अगर आप घर बना रहे हो, ये कर रहे हो, this person will be like pushing the workers and this thing to get the job done basically. Okay, like a contractor for, and this person will be more like more friendly, more understanding and all. Correct. So the second person is more what do you call, if you want to have a better relationship and all that, correct, the second person is better, more understanding by nature and all that, correct, in terms of the roundedness of the writing. Okay, so I'm just giving you sort of like a live examples because that helps you sort of understand. Because you will not understand like if you're just starting, like you will see letter, maybe you'll not understand and all that. So this sort of eliminates that part. Correct. So even this writing, so this person is more rounded, more understanding of things, but the second person has got more sharp angles in the writing. Correct. So they think faster, they want to go faster, and they थोड़ी सी उनको ये रहती है कि आगे बढ़ने का ये रहता है उनके अंदर. Like I want to go and get the job done and everything. So they'll get more irritated, more angry about things, but the second person will be like more understanding and friendly. I hope this much is clear. I think I've given enough sort of examples. We can go on with the examples also. So I'll just refresh what was covered in the last class. Okay, so Garland formation was basically covered, right? So, right. So, in I think I like my name too much. I'm just giving an example with my name. Okay, so this sort of formation is there. So, this is a very natural and very easy way to write. Okay, first thing you have to understand about Garland formation, and it is very rhythmic, because when you are writing like this, there's a sort of a rhythm to it. Okay, like almost it is going towards it, and like this is more of a receiving or open receptive and responsive sort of a person. So if you're kind and understanding and everything to this person, they are very good in teamwork. Okay, sort of in their writing. But if I write kind of, it's a little hard for me to do the angles with the this thing. Okay, so this is more of an angular formation in the writing, like I said. Okay, so what does this show? So when you're drawing an angle, there's only two movements, going up and going down. There's no curve or this thing in between. Okay, so in general, what I would say for this is, okay, they're more sort of goal oriented. Okay, right. So like they are I would say they are more long term sort of oriented, and these are a little bit short term, right? So what happens is, like, they just want to get from A to B, correct? And no matter what relationships or anything comes in between, they don't sort of care that much for the relationships and things. So if you see more angles in the writing, then they're more logical, and they care about numbers. So someone with an engineering, engineering हो गया, and what क्या है? Electrical and civil, and so that sort of background is there. Okay, and mostly the writing will be mostly straight only, because angle banane mein then it kind of this thing. So this can vary altogether. कि क्या हो सकता है इसमें. And there are basically, if I just go a little bit quickly over here. Okay, so what type of garlands are there? First one is shallow. Okay. Second one is clothesline. So I'll explain each one of it. Okay. Great with the spelling there. But next is droopy. And what was the other one? There is firm. Yeah. And the other two you can say weak and sham. Okay, so I'll just draw and explain each one of it, so that it will become sort of easier for you to understand. Okay, so which was, so when the garlands are shallow, meaning from A to B, okay, so there's no depth to it. Okay, this basically shows that they're basically avoiding the lower zone, correct? अगर आप ऐसे बना रहे हो, ये नीचे की तरफ जा रहा है properly, so this is going in the lower zone. ठीक है? तो अगर लोअर जोन में नहीं जा रहा है तो मेनली दे आर वेरी प्रैक्टिकल, ओके, एंड वांट टू गेट द जॉब डन, वेरी सिमिलर टू दिस बट नॉट वेरी हार्श, ओके, एंड they'll just connect with you enough to get the job done, okay. Over friendly ये लोग नहीं होते, okay. First thing you have to understand, so just want to have a good sort of like a working relationship, and they avoid any deep feelings with people. So this is basically shallow sort of garlands are there. Next is basically clothesline garlands are basically for people who mostly you will see people with like old English sort of writing, like if you have to write not exactly, but up this one is basically, you know, when you are writing more rounded sort of writing. So these people are more communicative and sort of expressive people, and sometimes they can come out to like a strong sort of individual, they can come out very strongly to people. So and last thing is they have difficulty in emotional sort of situations, like agar aap Shashi Tharoor or anyone you would see, correct, they have they come out strongly, मतलब उनकी अलग पर्सनालिटी होती है एंड दे वेरी कम्युनिकेटिव एंड ऑल दैट, बट इमोशनल सिचुएशन, हाउ टू हैंडल डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन, डिप्लोमेट, लाइक किसी को ये करना, वेरी दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ सिचुएशन दे माइट नॉट बी वेरी गुड एट, करेक्ट. Yeah, I think we basically missed one more thing. Okay, यहाँ पे मैं लिख देता हूँ deep garments. Just remember. Correct. So if you are writing sort of like you're basically staying in one place for very long period in time. So these people are more contemplative and all that. So reading philosophical books, meditation and all. So they are avoiding going too fast. Okay, and no, they are having this thing about holding on to things. So they're very conservative, very sentimental about things. So अगर इनके पास like कोई scooter हो गई, cycle हो गई 10-15 साल से, तो they will keep holding on to that without them having the need of selling that and stuff. Right? तो अगर ये ऊपर नीचे, you have to see कि ऊपर जा रही है, नीचे जा रही है, ऊपर जा रही है, नीचे जा रही है. So they don't have any hurry in writing. If you just see threaded writing, you know, they have hurry to move forward. But this writing is बहुत आराम से वो लिख रहे हैं. अरे कोई परवाह नहीं है दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है. So that sort of writing is there. You can make out, मतलब अगर बहुत ही ज्यादा गोल गोल writing ऐसे ऐसे हो गई, so they are not going forward. Then there is no sort of the writing is more vertical. No horizontal movement that is going to be. Okay, so ये part मैंने cover कर दिया. You have understood till here? Everyone is there? Right? This is little bit deep subject, correct? So if you don't understand everything, it is okay. Correct. First go, you will not understand. Maybe when you see the recording, you will understand a little bit. Anything you want to ask for this thing? Because we have another 10 minutes of this, then again you'll have to learn. Anbu Malar and नंदिता जी, लोकेश जी, सब समझ में आ रहा है आपको?
ये
Carry on,
समझ में आ रहा
we'll.
है,
Okay.
ठीक है, ठीक.
Okay. So ये मैं cover कर लेता हूँ in another 10 minutes. Then you can join back for this. So, next we have a little bit more extreme than deep garlands is droopy garlands. Okay, so if I'm writing sort of like this, it's a bit hard for me to make this very natural writing ऐसी नहीं है. Okay, वैसे लग रहा है कि यहाँ पे कुछ hang कर रहा है. Correct, it's hanging too much. Okay, so ये कुछ ज्यादा ही extreme हो गया of this thing. So they are holding on to something, some like emotional feelings and all. कुछ guilt है, कुछ regret है about the past. Maybe they feel they could have done more for their studies, for their parents, family, or something. They're holding on to something. Okay. So guilty and no, and sometimes it can be anger also. Correct. क्योंकि गुस्सा होगा कि इसने मेरे साथ, this person humiliated me, this person did this. It can be with regards to money or relationships and ego also. Okay, they'll hold on to all. Ki someone humiliated me, maybe family members or friends or relationship में after so many years they broke up or something. Yeah, money related issue भी हो सकता है. Someone is, if you see someone holding on to this one, then they need some sort of help. Because this can build up over time. Okay, especially. So droopy garlands is a little bit, you have to be careful from such with regards to. Yeah, and next we'll go to the best part. This is firm garlands. Okay, so all these are shallow is also okay, correct? क्योंकि आप अपने, like, you're very more practical in nature. Clothesline is also good. Okay, like deep. You have to be a little careful if you have deep sort of garlands. I don't know like which type of garlands you have or what type of this thing you have, but in general you have to understand. This is not so good. Okay, so best one is I would say firm garlands. Okay. Because they are more like if I just okay, so I'm writing my name many times because it's very easy to write my name, like anyone's name is. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, so it is not too shallow also, it's not too deep also, or neither it's hanging too much. So if it is just firm, correct, if you're just understanding, it's very so they are emotional also, and they are quite helpful, warm sort of people. So relationship with them becomes very easy. Okay, they are very good in terms of relationships. Okay, these people are looking to get their jobs done. तो ये होता है कि काफी टाइम आप देखोगे कि ये बस काम के समय पे आपसे बात करते हैं, बाकी समय they'll be busy with their own thing. Correct. But someone like with having firm garlands will be like, okay, कैसे हैं आप, ठीक हैं, सब कुछ अच्छा जा रहा है, and all. If you ask them for help, most of the time they would be helping you. Depend करता है पूरे writing पे वो भी. Okay, and इनके साथ तो relationship बहुत मुश्किल होगा, even this to a certain extent. They're not moving forward and they can hold you back. Clothesline also, if you have good relationship with them, then they are very communicative and things. Okay, with regards to other things. And I think we'll move on to the last two. So weak garlands is basically if you're just there's a lot of breakage, or if someone is just making a very small sort of like this, very slight. So there's some breakage or maybe very slightly just touch kar rahe ho. So this is a weak garland formation. Okay. So they will have good intentions. They want to do good work, but their energy is too low. Okay, low energy. And इनको आप sort of बुद्धू बना सकते हो आराम से. Okay, so I would say कि they're very simple people, correct? So if they see कि okay, click this link, okay, you'll win 50 rupees in Paytm and all, correct? तो इनका पैसा UPI से चला जाएगा, right? So they don't very simple and understanding sort of people. So no, they're not very careful. So weak garland is also not good. And then we have this thing called sham garlands. Okay. Okay, sham garlands का क्या होगा? Yeah, I'll just from notes. Give me one second. Okay, so sham garlands basically people who have sort of a retrace sort of thing. Like if I'm writing this sort of thing, which goes in between and stuff, sometimes in between letters also. So ending, which is sort of retraced, is called sort of like a, you just created a thing. So these people are aggressive, okay, and cunning sort of people, and they can be very temperamental with regards to things. So it is basically a faking things. So why we call it sham garlands? Because they on your face they'll be very nice, okay. But जैसे आप like you'll turn your back, they will be like you'll see in office also, okay. You'll say hi, okay, good morning, boss, or whatever. But behind that, many people, they will say ki, they will comment something or say bad something behind your back once you just go move on a little forward and stuff. So sham garlands basically that sort of form. I think we this much is clear, right? Hello. You understood everything?
Yes.
Shallow, clothesline,
Yes.
droopy, firm, weak, sham, and deep garlands. Everything is in one page. I'll do it for you. And the recording you will get anyways. So you can just refer it. Just go and everyone join. Nanda ji. Hello.
हाँ क्या हूँ?
नए बोर्ड पे बताऊं कि यहीं पे बस बता दूं आपको चलेगा. I'll just
यहीं पर बता दीजिए, यहीं पर बता दीजिए.
ठीक है मैं यहाँ नीचे
साइड
करता हूँ. ओके ये बेसिकली यहाँ पे मैं बताता हूँ. सो ये बेसिकली सोशली सॉर्ट ऑफ रिप्रेस्ड पर्सनालिटी होते हैं. तो सोशली रिप्रेस मतलब कि ये अपने जो इमोशंस है ये सब वो हैंडल नहीं कर पाते हैं. मतलब अगर इनको गुस्सा आता है ये आता है तो ये बोल नहीं पाते हैं किसी को. समझ रहे हैं ना आप कि मतलब कोई इनको तंग कर रहा है ये कर रहा है एंड ऑल. तो ये एग्जैक्टली बता नहीं पाते हैं कि तो इस ये सॉर्ट ऑफ मैल अडेप्टिव चीज होती है पर्सनालिटी के अंदर कि आपको गुस्सा आता है आप अच्छे से बात करते हो किसी के सामने लेकिन लाइक यू कांट टेल दैट पर्सन दैट यू आर एंग्री एट देम और पिस्ड ऑफ. तो आप उनके आपके जैसे बॉस हो गया उसके फेस के सामने आप लोग अच्छे से बात करते हैं लेकिन अगर कोई स्ट्रिक्ट हो गया ये हो गया सो you're very nice to them on the face but behind the back you're angry at them you're this thing, correct? So that is also sort of like a so in general मैं बोल रहा हूँ like पता है ऑफिस में लोग ऐसे ही करते हैं काफी टाइम But in general, people who have sham garlands are not able to cope up with the सोशल सिचुएशंस. करेक्ट. मान लो इनको कोई तंग कर रहा है, बुली कर रहा है, या बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट हो गया इनके साथ. करेक्ट. तो पीपल विथ sham sort of garlands, okay, like they can't cope with this thing. So ये बंदे बेसिकली कनिंग सॉर्ट ऑफ होते हैं. ये होते हैं लाइक जैसे कोई मान लीजिए कोई मंत्री हो गया, ठीक है, राज दरबार में. So that time on the face the minister will be nice like a politician, correct, लेकिन पीठ पीछे like on the back they are plotting कि इसको निकालना है, इसको ये करना है. Correct. So people with sham garlands are basically like that. I think ये सबसे best example था. Got it, Nandari? Understood.
Yes.
ठीक है. So Lokesh, you've understood, right?
Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, so I think we have another 10-15 minutes. Okay, so we can cover basically the angular part of the writing because there's a little bit less time. So that part is not very long. So next we'll go to angular writing. So angular writing is basically got two sort of movements. You're going up and you're going down, correct? That is basically you have to understand कि दो part होते हैं basically इसमें. So it's basically like an abrupt stroke. So if you're writing like this, okay, so it's like you're going up and down. It's like a dance movement. Okay, this is like feet movement. No, left, right, left, right. Hope you're understanding the difference between these two. Okay. So people like the qualities of this person is they've got a lot of mental energy, and secondly they're quite aggressive. Okay, not physically aggressive, but no, getting the job done and all that sort of thing. Depends how angular is the writing. So every writing will not have be 100% angular. Okay, every writing will not be 100% like this. Okay, like hota hai kabhi kabhi, like you will see like complete writing is like very sharp. Okay, so it depends from person to person, situation to situation. So if it is like 70% of the writing is based more on angles, then you consider this person to be angular. And similarly, like 70%. So you can understand the part of this. So next is they're quite rigid, inflexible with regards to getting the job. So they stick more to their opinions or to facts. Correct. अगर आप बैंक में जा रहे हैं, they will not care कि आपके फैमिली में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, क्या चीज हुआ है, और they will just see your what do you call it? I mean, Anbumar can understand this part. They will just see your credit score and then they will give you a loan. Okay, they will not care that much about what happens and stuff. So sometimes you will see them as very sort of inhuman and cold and sort of person, but they're more sticking to the rules and all that stuff with regards to this. And you need such sort of people in especially like important positions, because somewhere you have to differentiate between emotions and what, like especially in positions of importance, you need such people. So two things you have to see also, which is important in this. One is you have to see if the writing is heavy, and if the person is putting too much ink and writing sharp, then it is not good. Okay, so this becomes a very heavy sort of writing. If you see, like, I'll just show you the writing of, like, if you see, okay, who is this? Yeah, so this was Hitler's writing, right? So you're seeing a lot of pen pressure is being applied here, and the ink is blotting, and there's a lot of angles in the writing. So this person is bound to have violent tendencies in the writing. Okay, so you have to be careful of angular writing and a lot of pressure sort of being applied. Okay. But in general, I would say that जो भी angular writing होते हैं, they are very good with strategies and doing things and all, correct? Like in terms of, you would want someone, if you're running a business, you would want someone who is a CEO to have an angular writing, because they will not get too emotional, they'll get the job done and start doing things and stuff. So that is quite important. Okay. So we'll just go into the type of angular writings, and then we'll be done with the case. Okay, so like there are generally three. First one is sort of loopless angular. Okay. Next is stick figure. Okay. And last one is okay, TP stroke, and I'll add one more is tick sort of formation. Okay. So when you're looking at so this will have different meanings and all together, no? Cursively and all. Okay. So like in general, loopless, you would say that, no, like if you're writing, so they're not sort of loops in the writing in general. Hey, everything is sort of sharp, but no, in general it is like this. When you're looking at stick figure, it is no, if you're writing so the whole writing looks like, I'm not doing a great job at it, but no, if you can understand, it is basically like sticks. TP formation is basically kind of like, you can Google what is TP and all that, the meaning and all. Okay, I'm not remembering, but in general, definition is this. Okay, if you're forming letters like this, no, okay. And tick formation is basically sometimes you will see Q like this. Okay, Q is generally you can write like this, but sometimes Y is like this. So there's a tick sort of formation in the writing. Yeah, even G you can write like this. So yeah. Okay, so what about loopless writing is basically they're very conceptual. इनको concepts और ये सब, like they're very good in maths, physics and all these in general subjects, but no, emotionals and feelings and all that they don't understand, and they tend to avoid instinctual emotions and until they generally try to intellectualize the feelings part of it. Malab, if you ask what is love and all to them, okay, so first is they will say there's a so what do you call, there's a chemical reaction in the brain and all that stuff. Okay, so they will talk like that language. Okay, so it is in general, आप देखोगे कि जो लोग high class engineers होते हैं, ये होते हैं, they're very in terms of logic and all that stuff, वो काफी अच्छे होते हैं, लेकिन जो भी romance and दोस्ती वोस्ती और ये सब, उसमें ज्यादा उनको ये विश्वास, जैसे कोई बहुत बड़े सिविल इंजीनियर हो गए, सो यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट रोमांटिक सॉर्ट ऑफ रिलेशनशिप विद देम, करेक्ट, मैं इन जनरल ऐसे ही बता रहा हूँ. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज कि जो लोग थोड़ा लकड़ी जैसा लिखते हैं, जैसे TH ऐसे, like they have generally stick sort of, लगता है कि no, instead of writing there's bamboo stick sort of writing. So these people are very calculative, calculate करके हर चीजें चलते हैं, and emotions उनके अच्छे कंट्रोल में रहते हैं. और ये काफी मेच्योर और इंडिपेंडेंट होते हैं हर चीज को लेकर. And और क्या था? Correct. So they avoid too many details and they make very good quick decisions. So you want someone, especially like in terms of getting things done, making good decisions. This person is really good. Okay, when they're writing stuff. Next is basically TP formation. It is not a good sort of thing. Okay, first of all, this they hold on to their opinions and they don't care about your logic or facts or everything. Okay. So अगर आप ये देखोगे, this person is sort of like rigid. Like अगर पैर इसको आप दे दोगे, this person you can't push. Correct. एक जगह ये खड़ा हो गया. Correct. So if you just draw legs, it is like sort of stubborn sort of formation. So anytime you see this, or even sometimes you will see this, like, let's draw this. You see D like this sometimes. So these people don't want to get confused about new information, you know. आप इनको एक बार इन्होंने मन बना लिया तो ये they stick to that. They will not be convinced by you. Like if you want to go to Goa and all, they made their mind, then you can't convince them that okay, we'll go to Manali or somewhere else. And in general, these formation generally are more aggressive sort of formation. So you'll see a lot of sports people, you know, people in like football players and all that, right? So they have a lot of this angles, and maybe even lawyers and which requires a lot of confrontation, real estate and all these places. So they will have this sort of this thing. So they are using that energy and directing it towards their work and everything. But once they leave, you will see a lot of people who are wrestlers. Okay, अब देखोगे सुशील कुमार and all that. तो वो मतलब जब तक वो sports में थे, they did really well, correct. But once they left the sport, then they're aggressive or these qualities they started using in real life, and then even to jail and all that stuff. So I think this much is enough for the class. Okay. और कोई questions है? पूछ सकते हो. And then we'll be done with the class. Any questions here? 1, 2,